What is up, SMFF Nation? Strongest nation on, I don't know, all the places podcasts are. Who cares? Alex today coming at you with something I think is pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on. I'm going to talk about it in the next episode. But I figured I would go ahead and show this maybe in a video, and then you all can know what I was talking about when you see it. But those of us who have birthdays close to Christmas, I think we have to take pleasure in the little things when it comes to getting gifts, when it comes to getting things, because everyone likes to lump our stuff together. So I am super stoked on getting this. And I still have all these things I can be stoked about even after a wonderful Christmas, which I hope you all had a happy and healthy and fun and safe Christmas as well. But I just got 2 of the 5 McFarlane Toys Dune figures. So I figured I would go through this. I might have already taken Duncan out of the box. And I would kind of just show you guys around some of the cool stuff that I noticed with opening it. I just want to start off by saying I don't collect figures. I don't collect toys. I don't collect statues. Never been a thing of mine. I collect books and comics and odds and ends. So this is all new to me. I don't know much. I know McFarlane is basically the best you can get, especially at like this price point. And I think these are just really cool. I can tell you that these are kind of hard to get. I had to order all 5 of them, or to get them all for my birthday. I had to get them all online, or tell whomsoever to get them online for me. And I think this would be my guess that this has to do with the movie getting pushed back to October. Obviously, sales and such getting pushed back. Not only for the movie, but for the figures and the merch and all that stuff. So they were in Target for a while, then they weren't, and now they're not, and then they're sort of in Best Buy, but they're not. And I know the pop figures got pushed back to like really close when the movie comes out, because I guess they really, really want this to be a big success, hopefully as much as I do. So real quick, just to go through some things, Duncan, Idaho. If you've read the whole series, or you've read, most of the series, you'll know why I'm super stoked to get Duncan in particular. I think what's really neat is it look like they have this. I don't know if this is based on a real alphabet, but it looks like there's this fake Fremen language that they have, which is pretty neat. Again, this is for McFarlane Toys, after Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. That's why that little logo is the Spawn logo. It says, we have the collect to build the Beast Raban, and I can show you the parts that come with that. So this is what the Atreides Falcon is going to look like, or the Atreides Hawk, Eagle, Bird of Prey is going to look like in the movie, which is pretty dope. That's a pretty cool futuristic look, but at the same time, maintains the iconography. Duncan, Idaho of the House Atreides. What's really neat is the top is actually like I'd say a hue or a value of green, but it's like a really dark value. I don't know if you can tell, and that is sort of like the Atreides color. So not only are we getting this cool logo, but we're getting this like really nice like dark green color, which is I guess somewhat regal. And then of course we have the really cool gradient to match the dunes. On the back we got this cool Duncan pose. It says a legendary warrior renowned for his twin blade fighting style. Duncan, Idaho is the sword master of the House Atreides, which is really cool. And then it comes with the parts to build Dave Bautista, the Beast Raban. So I think that's going to be really neat when I get all those put together and assembled. And maybe it's time I show you my Duncan. So I try to put him in an action pose, and again, I'm not very good at this stuff. This is all still a little new to me. But I think at the very least, this gives us a really cool look at the still suits and what they're going to look like for the movie. So I'm really stoked to see how those are going to end up looking. I'm going to zoom in a little bit there. But we got this really cool mold of Jason Momoa. I know McFarlane is very proud of his toys because he actually tries to sculpt them realistically. So that's really neat. I've played with it a little bit. Obviously not like pow playing, but getting it put together. A few things I noticed. Like I said, I don't do this regularly. It was hard to put the swords in his hands. I actually had to start with the tip and like slide them up through the top until I got to the handles. Which is interesting. I just didn't want to break anything, so that is what I did. I like the bases. They have that cool Dunk logo. Just kidding, it's Dune, but I know it looks like Dunk. And the articulation is actually really hard to move at first, so you kind of have to like get his joints working, and then you can get him moving, which is pretty neat. The still suit I think is cool. I think the whole point of Duncan is he kind of has like a half still suit, because if you read the book, you kind of, oh look, the books. You kind of understand that he's sort of on the mission from the Duke to kind of figure out what's going on with the Fremen and kind of become a friend of them. And he obviously does a job of doing so. He's got his twin blades. One's a little bit longer than the other. And I'm going to say, honestly, my least favorite part of this whole figure, very stoked on the figure, least favorite part is actually the blades are so thin. I guess there's something with the plastic I can't really begin to tell you, but they're curved. They're not supposed to be curved. So I've tried to work out the bend in them, and I just couldn't get it. I don't want to take like a heat source near it to try to get the plastic to bend, because I feel like that's a bad idea. So I'll probably just leave it and try not to think about it too much, even though we all know I'm not going to be able to do that. But it's a cool little action pose. Like I said, like I said, I don't mess with these things very often. The points of articulation on this thing are insane. There's like a double joint in the knee, which is really cool. There's even a toe joint, so you can mess up his toes if you feel like it, which is just really cool. The wrist has a bunch of articulation, a double elbow joint, the shoulder even. I mean, like I said, I haven't really worked out all the kinks yet, but the shoulder is really great. Neck too. I mean, it just looks great. Great sculpt. I'm really excited to see Jason Momoa as Duncan. If you read the rest of the series, you know I am really excited to see Jason Momoa as Duncan in the other movies if they ever come out. So this is the first thing I got. This is going to be a two-parter video. This is the first figure I got. Let me go get the second. And here is the second one that I got in. I'm going to get the other three in. Hopefully a few days from now I can post that then. But Baron Harkonnen, which is just awesome. Played by, is it Stellan Skarsgård? I think it's Stellan. Bill. It's one of the Skarsgårds. There's that whole big family. And this is like the cream of the crop. Macho Man, Randy Savage, big figure for the line. This one, I think the other ones run you about $20. This one runs you about 35 or 40, I guess, depending on where you're getting them. And he's in his suspender pants. So this little hole right here is what kind of holds him up. I don't know, I'm hesitant to open this one up because he's just so large. And I feel like I need to wait until I'm going to place him where I'm going to place him. You know what I mean? So I'm not really going to take him out of the box just yet. Like I said, I kind of want to wait until I'm going to put him where I know I'm going to put him, and he's going to stay for a while. You may or may not know, but I'm remodeling a house right now, and so that may or may not be one of the reasons why we haven't been posting very often, and a lot of my stuff is in the house we're remodeling and not in the one I'm currently in. So I'm thinking that maybe when I finally get my whole Dune shrine set up in my new place, I'll pop this bad boy out, and then I will show them off then. But that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So there's not really much for me to show. I just, another thing to kind of go with it, we got this really cool Harkonnen logo. I'm very excited to see what they end up doing with that. As opposed to the green on Duncan, which is the House Atreides, we got this nice red color for Baron Harkonnen, which makes me wonder if Stilgar, because Stilgar is the Fremen figure that they ended up doing, which is Javier Bardem. Looks so good. I wonder if he's going to be a different color, or if there's going to be like a cool Fremen logo we're going to get to see. I'm really excited to see that because they're all kind of doing their stylizations. What a mean mug right there. And it's red, which I think is cool. Up top here, remember how I referenced on the Duncan that it was like a nice green hue. Well, it's a nice dark red. Again, we got this really cool lettering. I think it's really neat that they're kind of going with this, obviously out of this world style. And on the back, we have evil personified. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen is an all-consuming force of malevolence determined to feed his addiction to brutality. Denny, I saw an interview with Denny Villeneuve, who's the director of the Dune movie, and he said that whenever he had a slow day or a slow week, he'd bring in Mr. Skarsgård, and he wouldn't have to tell him how to play the character at all or how to do anything. Skarsgård was perfect. So I'm very excited to see. Honestly, of all the casting choices, I think, oh yeah, it looks like Stilgar's going to be like a yellow color, maybe like a tan color because of the sand. But of all the casting choices, I'm probably most excited to see Mr. Skarsgård because Harkonnen is just an interesting character and a crazy character, and if he's done convincingly, then we're going to have a convincing villain, and I think that's very important for a good movie and a good story. So a few days from now, I'll definitely have Paul, Lady Jessica, and Stilgar, and those will probably be unboxed so they can go with my Duncan. Just for scale, I mean, yeah, Harkonnen's a little bit bigger than Duncan. So, like I said, I'm gonna wait until I can put him where he's gonna go, and by then maybe I'll have the Beast Raban put together. His arms came with Duncan, so I'll get the rest of his pieces and then put them together. And I don't think he came with a stand. Duncan has a stand, and then Harkonnen, that like marble brick looking thing behind him, is his stand. So very interested to see how this ends up, how cool it looks, and then I'll give you a little preview of what it might look like with Duncan. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Dune. That's okay. That's basically my only character trait at this point, and I'm willing to live with that. So I kind of got Duncan here with my little half Dune shelf. All my other main series books are actually at my other place that I was talking about, but these are a lot of things that I have going. A lot of expanded Duneverse stuff, pop figure stuff. Now we got Duncan up there with him, and collectible 1980s Dune trading cards, because why not if they're on sale? Just some cool quick points I can make before I end this. That is the graphic novel that just came out. It's written by Brian and Kevin, which do all the Duneverse, but this is based on the first book. We have the newest book, The Duke of Caladan, which is the 20th, and then here are my 4 original serialized pieces of Children of Dune. It came out in 4 parts in the science fiction analog, Science Fact, and I have all 4 pieces, which is a pretty cool thing to say. This book right here, The Road to Dune, has a shortened version that Frank wrote to try to get it published when he thought it wasn't going to get published. And this is probably my favorite artwork for Dune Messiah for the book cover. So a lot of cool stuff. Duncan looks really good against, or right next to the original Paul Atreides from the 80s, and I can't wait to get all the pop figures for the new movie. And then this is actually Frank's first book that he wrote, and the copy that I have is very bad. So I'd show that off, but there's not much to show off. And Tales of Dune is a short story collection. So cool stuff. Like I said, when I get everything put together and I get all the cool stuff put together, I'll definitely do like maybe a little tour of my little shrine to Dune, and you can see how obsessed I get with things, which is a lot of fun. So look at that, SMFF. You're getting content even when you're not supposed to be, because we're not recording. But these figures are just cool not to show off, and I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. Maybe we can have Ryan show off some of his stuff. All right, keep it real and keep it Vicky, and remember, gosh dang, look at that thing.